Good evening. Before we get started, I would like to define two things for you. The first thing I would like to define for you is something called the First 8 Rule. I learned the First 8 Rule at a life seminar at Emory University over the summer. A woman named Dr. Tolbert told me and my classmates that people often judge you within the first 8 feet, 8 seconds, and 8 words that come out of your mouth. Crazy, right? The second thing I would like to define for you is a term called code switching. Now, people often define code switching as the change in linguistics, but to me, it's more than that. It's the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you present yourself in certain situations. Before I get started, I would like to tell you a little bit about where I'm from and how I learned to code switch. I come from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I went to school in the inner city, or what some consider the hood. We talk different in my city. We dress different on my side of town from others. Oftentimes, I would greet my homegirls with the girl, where you been at? So-and-so party tonight. What's the word? What's the move? I often spoke with the slang of my city. You perpin', ain't nobody say that. Code for you're lying, nobody just said what you said. I even dressed different. My jeans, my sneakers. Oftentimes, girls wore their head wraps until they got to their destination so the weather wouldn't mess up their do. Then I came to this big switch in my life. I moved to a wealthier part of town, and I started going to school with predominantly white kids. It was a culture shock for me. I wasn't sure how to act. I was always intelligent. I always had manners, but when I never had to display them where I was from. I didn't know what to do. I was in this building full of no one who looked like me. No one had on their scarves. Everyone used these gargantuan lexicons or large vocabularies. I knew I had it, but again, I didn't have to impress the people back on my side of town, so I never used it. They dressed business casually, did things that where I come from, like stare, was not okay. So for weeks, I didn't speak. I didn't say anything. I was afraid of being judged, even though I knew I had it in me. But I didn't want to change who I was just to fit in at this new school. So I went home to my sister, who knows far more about life than I do. And this is where she taught me about code switching. She told me that I didn't have to change who I was as a person, meaning my morals, values, what I stood for, what I found okay and not okay. But sometimes I had to put away my slang and bring out my gargantuan lexicon. Put away my ripped jeans and my head wrap and put on my business suit coat and my khakis and flats. And not to impress them, but to survive in my environment for the time. Basically telling me, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So I did that. I no longer wore my head wrap out of the house. I no longer wore my ripped jeans. I wasn't afraid to answer questions in class and compete for my spot. I used my gargantuan lexicon. I code switched. I was always who I was. I just changed my demeanor to fit the situation at hand. Many people code switch. One of our president, Barack Obama. We know that when Barack Obama is up there for a press conference or in front of the American people in his suit and tie, he is going to get it done. He is about his business. Then we know that side of Obama where he's relaxed, where the ball players come to his house, his leather jacket. Yo, bro, it's cool. Yeah. We know that he can relate to us. Again, we always knew what Obama stood for, what he found okay, not okay, his morals, his values. We knew it. But he changed his demeanor to fit the situation at hand, aka code switched. Business men and women, you wouldn't go to China with only American customs and expect people to be comfortable or want to do business with you. No, you learn some of their customs. You get comfortable with their way of doing things so that they know you care. You care about us. You want to fit in enough. So yeah, we can do that business with you. Not many people know how to code switch, let alone code switch and be themselves. Bringing you back to that first 8 rule where people often judge you within that first 8 feet, 8 seconds, and 8 words that come out of your mouth. Afraid that changing yourself for that situation at hand might make people feel like you're phony or fake. It's not the case at all. People respect you for trying to fit in, trying to survive in that situation. They don't respect you for being phony. Again, you don't change your morals, your values, what you stand for. You change your demeanor to fit the situation at hand. You code switch. You change your language. You change the way that you dress. Doesn't make you a different person on the inside. It just makes you able to survive, to fit in. Like they say, you can go to the White House and fit in, or the hood and fit in, is what I'm trying to get at. So the next time you find yourself in a brand new situation that you've never been in before, I want you to ask yourself, do I code switch? If so, do I remain myself? Am I happy with what I just did? Did I leave a good impression? Do people know that this is me, regardless of me dressing to fit in their situation or not? I guess what I'm trying to say is to code switch or not to code switch. That's the question. Thank you.